Greetings and welcome to today's session. I welcome you from the ICT paper 2. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. So, as I had promised, I remember in the previous lessons I told you that October paper is coming, and this is October. So, this is the theory paper that I would like us to revise as we prepare for the theory paper on 30th. So, these are also revision papers. So, KABS ICT Resource Center comes again with this kind of paper. So, when it comes to section A, we have this number. Jamal runs a small photography business. He has basic knowledge of computers and uses his desktop computer to edit and store photos for clients. Recently, his computer started slowing down and he worries about losing his clients' photos. He needs advice on how to speed up his computer, properly stores his files, and keep his system secure from viruses and malware. So when you look at these support materials, the images provided, we are seeing a computer with a video editing software. Then we are seeing threats found, Microsoft Defend antivirus found threats. Then here we are seeing a backup of folders on the PC, etc. Task: advise Jamal on how to improve his computer's performance for editing photos, focusing on system maintenance. Part B: recommend the methods for securely restoring his client's photos and keeping his system safe from potential threats. So I would like us to tackle one number at a time. So when you look at this number of Jamal properly, so those who are viewing this video, you play, pause, you rewind, and keep following the scenario very well and the task. So from here, when you look at the scoring guide for this number, this is the competence, the skill that we are looking out for, and the scores. So you score 1 mark for providing a focused introduction. Then, if the learner describes system maintenance solutions at least 5 and above, you score 4 scores. If you identify 2 to 3 methods, you score 3 scores. If you identify 1 to 2 methods, those are 2 scores. If you identify 1, you get your 1 score. Then part B, if you have explained file storage and security methods, at least 4 points maximum. I mean 4 responses maximum, you score 4 marks. You provide a conclusion, that is 1 mark. The format of the presentation or the format of the document, you will score 1 mark. In total, 11. So let's look at least the expected responses on this item 1. So when you look at this, we must have at least an introduction where we are looking at Jamal is experiencing slow performance on his desktop computer, which he uses to edit and store photos for clients. He's also concerned about storage and system security. So with this kind of introduction, I remember in the previous lessons, we said that introduction should be from the scenario itself. So when you identify that, we expect that you get a mark for introduction. And this one, we normally call it for intro. That is its base of assessment score. That is for intro, and we said that one is always 1 mark. Then system maintenance solution 1, we can look at clearing temporary files and cache. So Jamal should regularly delete temporary files and clear the cache on his computer, free up space and improve performance. So here we said that you have to identify, or you have to give a method. After giving it, you flatly explain it, flatly illustrate it, or you can give an example. Then we are having Roman 2, the next point, uninstalling unused software. So here we are looking at one method of improving the speed, uninstalling unused software. He should uninstall any software he no longer uses so that he can relieve space. Then upgrading RAM. Jamal can think of adding more RAM to his system which will help to handle the demands of photo editing software. Then disk defragmentation. Jamal can use the built-in disk defragmentation tool to organize the fragmented files on his drive and improve the loading times. So here we are saying that after identifying the points and all that, part A is going to take at least 4 scores if you have given a minimum of 5 responses. Then part B, we are looking at to recommend methods for securely storing his client's photos and keeping his system safe from potential threats. So here, 1, Jamal can do cloud storage, such as on Google Drive or Dropbox, can back up the photos. Then Jamal can also have an external hard drive for offline backup, so that's he can store copies for the client files. Then Jamal can think of installing an antivirus software which will protect his system from all malware. Then note that regular updates so that the softwares and the operating system are updated to protect him against any vulnerabilities. So here we are saying at least a minimum of 5 responses, you will score 4 marks. Then conclusion, this is a conclusion, will also carry 1 mark. And previously we said that item 1 will carry 11 marks maximum. Let's look at item 2. So when you look at item 2, where you are supposed to attempt at least 1 question, but for this video I will attempt all. So item 2, a primary school wants to provide public access to computers so that visitors can browse the internet, send emails, and access educational materials. The school administrator is concerned about the security of the computers and how to prevent unauthorized access to sensitive data. She needs guidance on setting up the system to ensure public safety and maintain the computers. So here we are seeing the support materials. These images we are seeing access denied. You don't have access to this application. Please contact your administrator. We are seeing adult people within this library. Some are still on computers. Then we are seeing here an image of internet, bad traffic, firewall blocks, bad traffic, public network, etc. Then task part A, advise the school administrator on how to set up the computers for public access, focusing on restricting unauthorized access. Part B, recommend security measures that will help protect the computers from viruses, malware, and data breaches. So when you look at the scoring guide for item 2, this is the competence. You must have provided a focused introduction to get 1 score. Then you describe the system startup for public access. Here, maximum 4 scores if you have identified and explained at least 4 methods for restricting unauthorized access. Then if you have explained security measures, at least minimum 5 responses, you score your 4 scores. Then you provide a conclusion. Then we look at the format of the presentation or the document, 1 mark. So let's look at the expected responses for item 2. You must have the introduction, which will carry 1 mark. Then from there, how are we going to set up this public access? First of all, we need to set up user profiles with limited access. Each user should have a guest profile with limited access. Users should not be able to install software or even access administrative settings. You state a point, briefly explain it or illustrate it or give an example. Then automatic logout. The system should log out automatically after a certain period of inactivity, preventing unauthorized access if someone leaves their computer unattended. Then note that we need what we call content filters, where in this act we implement web content filters to block access to inappropriate or harmful websites, because you may find that some people would like to come and start accessing maybe pornographic sites, etc. So we can block them. Then more to that, we have usage time restrictions, and in this we have to restrict each session to a certain time limit to ensure that all users have fair access to computers. So a minimum of 5 responses, you get your 4 scores. Then let's look at the security measures for part B. 1, we install antivirus software. The school should install antivirus software on all the public computers to prevent malware infections. Then we need to have firewalls there. A firewall should be used to block unauthorized access to the school's network, ensuring that hackers cannot exploit the security vulnerabilities. Then more to that, we need data deletion after use, where we are going to implement software that automatically deletes users' data, e.g. browsing history, downloads after each session. Then from there, we are talking about encryption, whereby sensitive information such as saved login credentials should be encrypted to prevent unauthorized access. So a minimum of 5 responses, you get 4 scores. Then from there, you have to conclude by basing on your responses or clearly understanding the scenario, and you bring a conclusion. So that one will give you 1 mark. So at this point, we said item 2 also will carry 11 scores. Let's look at item 3. With item 3, a community center wants to start a computer literacy program for seniors. The program will cover basic skills like browsing the internet, sending emails, and using word processors. However, the seniors have very little experience with computers, and the instructors need guidance on how to simplify lessons for beginners and protect students from common online threats like phishing. So we are looking at adults, they are seated on computers. Here we are looking at a word processing program interface opened. Then we are seeing someone being conned online. This is Bitcoin and all that. Then task, provide recommendations on how to simplify lessons for seniors in a computer literacy program and explain how to teach them about online safety. So this is our item 3. Let's look at its scoring guide. So when it comes to its scoring guide, we are looking at item 3. That item 3, you have also to provide a focused introduction. That one you carry 1 mark. If you have described methods for simplifying lessons, we shall have to look at that. Maximum 4 scores. Then you have explained the online safety, maximum 4 scores. Conclusion 1 mark. The format of the document 1 mark. So here we can look at expected responses. You must begin with your introduction. So with intro, which will carry 1 mark. So how should we simplify the lessons? 1, we can start with the basics. Begin with simple tasks like turning on the computer, using the mouse, and navigating the desktop. Then from there, large font and simple language. We can use large fonts and simple jargon-free language in all the lesson materials. Then interactive learning, where we are going to provide hands-on learning opportunities, allowing the seniors to practice browsing, sending emails, and creating documents during the lessons. Then more to that, we need to provide step-by-step instructions. We have to break down each task into small manageable steps with visual aids to guide the seniors. So here, a minimum of at least 5 responses in form of steps, you score 4 marks. Then online safety strategies. 1, we need to make them aware of phishing. So we need to teach the seniors how to identify phishing emails, including looking for suspicious links or attachments. Then secure password practices. Here we emphasize the importance of strong, unique passwords and avoiding sharing personal information online. Then safe browsing. What are we going to do? Instruct them to only visit trusted websites and avoid downloading unknown files or clicking on pop-ups. Then, finally, two-factor authentication. We have to encourage the use of two-factor authentication for added security when logging into online accounts. So a minimum of 5 strategies, 4 scores. Then we give our conclusion. Then also item 3, 11 scores. Let's look at item 4. When it comes to item 4, this is now section B part 2, where you are supposed to answer one item, but we are going to answer all. A local hospital is upgrading its patients management system to store patients' records digitally. The IT team is tasked with setting up secure access to records, ensuring data is backed up regularly, and training hospital staff on how to use the system. The hospital needs guidance on setting up the system and ensuring compliance with data protection laws. So here we are seeing a login interface, we are seeing a health backup image, then we are seeing an electronic medical records system. So here we need to get to understand these support materials to help us in the task as well. Task: provide recommendations on securely setting up the patient's management system and ensuring compliance with data protection laws. So with this kind of task, we are supposed to look at the scoring guide for item 4. You have provided introduction, yes. Then you have described the secure system setup, yes. Then you have explained how backup and data protection strategies can work, and then there is also a conclusion. So let's look at expected responses. 1, you have to give the introduction. That is our introduction. Then how to set up a secure access. Still, there is user access control. We implement restricted access to that only authorized person who can view and edit the records. Then more to that, password protection and two-factor authentication. Each user should have a secure password and a two-factor authentication to prevent unauthorized access. Then encryption of patients' data. This is where we are going to encrypt all patients' records to ensure that even if a data breach occurs, the information remains protected. Then audit logs. So these ones, they keep logs of who accesses or modifies patients' records to maintain accountability. So at least minimum 5 responses for 4 scores. Then backup and data protection. That was this area for compliance and data backup protection laws. So here we need to do regular cloud backups. We have seen that in the image there is patient records should be backed up to prevent any loss. Then automated backup schedule, we can set up automatic backups to occur daily, weekly, ensuring that there is no data loss. Then compliance with data protection laws. Here the system should comply with the local and international data protection laws by ensuring data is stored securely and access is limited. So that's what it means, and here we are also getting the 4 scores. We conclude, and after concluding here with item 4, these are 8 scores in total. So actually here these were supposed to be 3 scores, yes, and here also 3 scores. These are also 3 scores, and in total 8. Then let's look at item 5. A small school wants to create a digital magazine that includes students' articles, school event highlights, and multimedia elements like photos and videos. The magazine will be stored on a compact disc, that is CDR, for distribution to students, and those with emails will receive a digital copy via email. The school staff is unfamiliar with integrating text, photos, and videos into a single interactive magazine and needs guidance on how to organize and distribute it. So here we are seeing a picture of a magazine. We are also seeing a cover of this magazine. We are seeing these CDs, meaning that they will also be used. So the task provide guidance on how the school can create a digital magazine combining text, photos, videos, and distributing it on CDRs and via email. So you play, pause, you rewind, and look at the task carefully, look at the scenario and the support material provided. So with this, let's look at the scoring guide. Providing a focused introduction, 1 mark. Describing the process of creating a magazine, at least we shall see 3 marks there. Explaining methods for distributing the magazine, maximum mark 3. Conclusion, 1 mark. The total here marks should be 8. So here, let's look at how best we can respond to this task. We have to give an introduction, so you can read through the intro. Then from there, creating a digital magazine using Microsoft Publisher. So one, we have to open and set up the magazine layout. Open Publisher, we choose A4 letter. We can use text boxes for articles. We can also insert images. We can as well use a master page. Then we have to maintain some color schemes. Then from there, we integrate photos and videos. So this one we can import by dragging them, or we upload at least from Google Drive, or we have to insert some hyperlinks, and we add captions to whatever we have inserted. That is when we can integrate photos and videos. Import photos by dragging them into the layout. For videos, upload them to YouTube or Google Drive and then insert hyperlinks next to the relevant content. Add captions and ensure all links are clickable in a final PDF. Then note that, how do we export the magazine to PDF? Click File, Export, Create PDF or XPS documents, ensuring that the hyperlinks and media links work before exporting the final version. Then how are we going to distribute this? So you can first compress the file if it is too big. If it is more than maybe 25 MBs, that means that it will not go on email direct. You have to upload it to Google Drive or Dropbox for sharing. Then you draft the email. You can use the email, for example, Google or Gmail or Outlook, and write the subject, like put the school name, the title as digital magazine end of year edition. Then from there, include a friendly introduction, attach the PDF or share the downloadable link, and inform students that the CDRs will be distributed during a holiday if they need them or they come to a certain office. Send the email, ensure that everything is well attached, the links are there and accessible, then click send to the list of students who have emails. If you want, you can follow up and see if they received. Then, how about burning the digital magazine on a CD? So what you are going to do, you prepare your CD, insert it in the drive, choose with a CD player. Then after, copy the PDF to the CD. After copying it, click the burn to disk or right click below and choose burn to disk. Under drive tools, provide the title and then select the recording speed. Click next. The burning will proceed. Once the process is done, you can test the CD to see if it is working and everything opens well. Then finally, label the CDs and distribute them. Label them with a permanent marker. Then finally give a conclusion. So this one mark. Whatever you have listed down under part B, whatever you have listed under part A, here these are our 8 scores. So we have fully answered this paper. Please check in the video description. I've inserted the link to get this paper directly and keep revising. Then please continue subscribing to my YouTube channel, sharing the link to your friends, and you can see those who did the ICT paper today. The final video has been published and it is here, so check it out. I've also included it in the video description, and in the next episode we are going to look at this paper as well. It is also for October, as we revise to do our final paper on 30th. So here is another paper which we shall be looking at in the next video. So let me briefly showcase the items so that you can be giving me solutions in the comment section here on YouTube itself. So item 1 is here. Rita runs a small business and uses a single computer to manage her inventory, processes sales reports, and maintain customer data. She has basic knowledge of ICT but struggles with starting the system correctly, using spreadsheets to track finances and securing her data. Rita recently experienced a computer crash that resulted in data loss. She is concerned that if this continues, she may lose crucial business information. So we are looking at these images. Pause the video, look at these support materials very well, look at these images very well. Then after, task. Guide Rita in selecting the appropriate ICT tools and practices for managing her business. Advise Rita on how to protect her data and prevent further loss through effective security measures. So I expect, at least as one way of collaborating, one way of knowing what is going on there, please put your responses in the comment section. Then Section B, Part 2. A primary school in your, Section B, Part 1. A primary school in your district has been using outdated computers for years. Recently, some of the machines have stopped functioning, and the school administration has decided to replace them. The school plans to discard the old computers, but is unaware of proper e-waste disposal methods. They are also concerned about the security of students' data stored on the old computers. So we are seeing a pile of old computers. We are seeing data. We are seeing delete data secure interface. We are also seeing this as a recycling factory and disposal. We are also seeing someone with a hammer trying to hammer the hard disk. So, task. Advise the school on secure methods to erase all sensitive students' data from old computers before disposal. Part B. Provide guidelines for environmentally safe disposal of electronic waste. Put your responses in the comment section. I will find them in the next video. They will also help me in coming up with the next video. Thank you, whoever is going to comment. Next, item 3. A tech startup has a growing team that frequently shares files and collaborates using online platforms. Recently, a few employees have raised concerns about their personal health, citing issues like back pain, eye strain, and general discomfort due to prolonged computer use. Additionally, the company's IT department has discovered that a large number of unused electronic devices are piling up in storage. So we are looking at someone seated regarding using ergonomically designed furniture. Then we are seeing someone having a blue glasses working on a computer. Then we are seeing a pile of unused computers. Task: provide recommendations for improving employee health and safety in the workplace regarding ICT use. Additionally, suggest measures the company can take to properly manage and dispose of unused electronic devices. So this is the task. Please go ahead in the comment section. You tell me responses for item 3. You comment there with your responses. Item 4, that is section B, part 2. A small NGO has decided to launch a new online platform to share research reports and community outreach information with the public. The team is unfamiliar with file and folder organization, and their current method of storing research files stored on shared drives has resulted in frequent loss and duplication of important documents. They also need a well-designed website to publish their reports online. So here we are seeing a disorganized interface, a desktop, files are disorganized. We are seeing a backup system. Then we are also seeing a screen with organized folders, well labeled. Task: develop a detailed plan for the NGO to implement an effective file and folder management system. Additionally, suggest how they can create a website to publish their research and reports for public access. Put your responses in the comment section. Lastly, item 5, Paul and his classmates are working on a group project that involves creating multimedia presentation about their school's history. They have access to several tools, including Microsoft PowerPoint, MS Publisher, and a video camera. However, they are unsure how to combine text, images, and videos into a coherent and interactive presentation. They also need to know how to present their final product offline. So here we are looking at multimedia history project. We are seeing a camera and a video editing software on screen. This one is working on Publisher, trying to add up some things. We are seeing a flash drive. So, task: help Paul and his group plan how to create a multimedia presentation using the available tools. Provide guidance on how they can integrate text, images, and video clips into their presentation and ensure it is properly structured for offline presentation. That marks the end of this scenario paper, and the responses, my final responses, will come in the next video, but I expect at least you, the viewers, whoever is utilizing this channel's content, to put your responses in the comment section. So continue subscribing to this channel. Check in the video description for the link to download these resources and use them for your revision. And by the way, I have good news. There is this new book, ICT Mastery for Uganda's Competence-Based Curriculum. So this book will be covering Senior 1 to Senior 4, Guide to Theory and Practical Success. So within this book, expect a number of scenario items, both in paper 1 and paper 2, with their expected responses. So it will be a need for at least every learner who wants to score highly in ICT. So when you look at its abstract, it says, as Uganda transitions into a digital age, the new lower secondary ICT curriculum plays a pivotal role in preparing learners for the demands of the 21st century job market. This book is designed as a comprehensive resource for students and educators, aligning with the competence-based curriculum and focusing especially on ICT for learners in Senior 1 to Senior 4. covering both theoretical and practical aspects of ICT. So this guide delivers a holistic learning experience with detailed scenario-based activities, test frameworks, and exam-oriented approaches. Whether students are exploring fundamental ICT themes, solving real-world problems, or preparing for their national exams, Paper 1 Theory, Paper 2 Practical, this book offers the tools they need to excel academically and build critical skills for future careers. So by mastering the constructs of ICT, learners will not only pass exams, but emerge as competitive, adaptable individuals ready to embrace opportunities in the modern workplace. So here is the book. So I request you to keep subscribing to my YouTube channel as you explore learning now and again. So the book will be available by mid-December for grab. I'm sure the time I've given it, by mid-December, it will be done. So far it is 82 pages, still trying to add up different scenario questions, generating new exam questions and all that. So keep following the updates on this YouTube channel, subscribe and share it to colleagues. God bless.